Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. As you can already see, I don't need to tell you guys, I am outside the wonderful Old Trafford. And there's a reason why I'm here. It's because Ruben Amorim is starting work this week. On Monday, he'll be giving a training session working with the boys. So what I want to do is a quick preview of the Ipswich game, talk about what tactics we're looking at, what individual players could come into the side, what he's like as a manager, and give you a full basis. So let's get into it. So for anyone who hasn't seen Old Trafford Diaries before, I have done this, but I felt like it was important with the new manager being here basically to introduce what he's going to bring, how we feel about the Ipswich game in general, what kind of tactics we're going to be using, and where we've got to kind of start off is why we got in this place in the first place, right? Why we're in this situation. It's because Erik Ten Hag, not he couldn't do his job, but he felt like everything was going wrong. You look at the West Ham game, certain players really underperforming, the team as a unit not together. It looked like they was fed up, they was uninterested, and we needed that new lease of life. Now, Ruud van Nistelrooy came in the interim, initially for a couple of weeks, steadied the ship, as you do, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did as well. We've seen this chapter before. In credit to him, 1 draw and 3 wins out of 4 games. He did really, really well, but there was never that, he never had that kind of feeling, did it, that he was ever going to stay, that he was ever going to be here permanently. And with Ruben coming in, we knew he wanted to bring in his specific coaches. He's got 4 or 5, he's like a fitness coach, goalkeeper coach, all that kind of stuff. So we knew this new chapter was upon us. And I think it's absolutely needed. Now, we've always historically gone down a path of different world-class managers. We tried Louis van Gaal, we tried Jose Mourinho, we tried Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we tried Ragnick, we tried everyone. So this place, this stadium, this team almost feels like the most impossible job on the planet. So he's got a mega tough job to have. But the one thing I will say with that, and the one thing that kind of caveats that, is the fact that he's coming in. I think we're 13th in the Premier League, we're 14th in the Europa League. You know, you can't do much worse, can you? You almost hit rock bottom. So all you've got to do is come in, have a bit of emphasis about you, a bit of confidence, get these players clicking together. We've got a lot of players back from injury in terms of Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw's back, Tyrone Malacia is back as well, Mason Mount's back. You know, these players that have, been struggling to get fit, and now Amorim's got them at his disposal. So what's he going to do with him? Let's talk about Ipswich. So Ipswich then. What we're saying, Kieran McKenna, you've got that narrative. The assistant coach under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be looking to prove a point. Of course, they got the first win over Tottenham. Was it last week or last weekend? Can't remember. But they got a win, more importantly. So they're going to have this kind of momentum. They're going to have this belief, this confidence. And they're going to be thinking, you know what? Yes, it's a new manager. Yes, there'll be confidence. There'll be a bit of a bounce. But I reckon we can still get at him because there's going to be a couple of cobwebs there for sure. The players would have worked with Amorim for what? 1 week or something. So I'm sure McKenna will be targeting that. He'll be looking at certain players. He's worked with Marcus Rashford before. He's worked with Luke Shaw and all these guys. So that's an interesting point just as in isolation. For Ruben, I think going into it, which we're all trying to piece this puzzle together, right? Who's going to start? Will it be a back 3, a 3-4-3, a 3-4-1-2? Will it be a back 4? Will he surprise a couple of people maybe? A bit of a tactical innovation? No one knows, do we? So we almost have to do a bit of a guessing game. So let's do a guessing game together. So I'm going to go through the team that I think. We're going to do a separate preview of this with the lads, but I thought whilst we're outside Old Trafford, we might as well do it here, right? So let's get into it. So I'm going to go Onana in net. I think I would like to see Lenny Yoro as the right-sided centre-back. I think you look at him, how he defends wide channels, 1v1, his pace, his ability, his height. He's perfect for that, but will Amorim throw him right in the deep end? I don't think so. So I think you'll see more of an experienced figure in there. Who that'll be, maybe a Diego Dallo in that right-sided centre-back, maybe a Matthias de Ligt, maybe, I don't know. But I don't think Yoro's going to be chucked in there. So I'll put Dallo in there for now. I think as the central one, you've got Matthias de Ligt, who I think is very comfortable on the ball. He loves being that leader in the back line. And then you've got on the left-hand side, probably Lisandro Martinez, with being left-footed, more natural. In terms of him defending wide channels, that's a kind of different conversation. I am a little bit worried about that, but Lisandro Martinez will start on that left-hand side. The midfield, past couple of weeks, we've seen Casemiro, we've seen Ugarte together, that South American kind of dominance, and it's give Bruno a bit more of a platform. So I'd expect to see that, but the difference is, and I don't want to bore people to death tactics-wise, but the difference is, Bruno's not going to be that kind of central 10. He's going to be 2 10s and he's going to be a striker. So I think Ahmad will come in on that right-hand side as You know, he's comfortable in the half space anyway. And then on that left-hand side, you might see Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus up top. Then we discussed the wing-backs. We've gone through the majority of the team. This is the one where I'm almost like, I don't know. I'm like, will Majari play there? Does he necessarily suit a wing-back position? Will Dalot push there? Majari swap with him? I don't know, but I'll leave that to you guys. Who do you think? Get your comments in on this. Who you think will start at wing-back? So yeah, as we head into this era, there's actually quite a lot of excitement because you look at the first 10 games, I know we've got some tricky fixtures in there. I think we've got Man City away, Spurs away, Arsenal away. They're the three ones that you look at and you're like, that's going to be tough for Amorim. But he has just beat Man City with Sporting Lisbon. So, and he beat Arsenal last season in the Champions League, so I'll take that. And we need to get revenge on Tottenham anyway. But apart from that, you look at the other games, Victoria Pleasant, Bodo Glimt. You've got some really easy fixtures in there. And the Premier League table at the moment is like 4 points between 13th and 3rd place, I believe. So if you literally go on a bit of a run, get a couple of wins together, which we've struggled to do, and you can easily do against some of these teams. I'm not saying it is, well, I did say it's easier, but it's not going to be easier. But against Ipswich, Bodo Glimt, these guys, you should be winning with the quality of players that you've got on the pitch. So if we can start going up that table, people start talking about top 4 again, which is obviously going to be important for, you know, European revenue. Just in general, United should always be in the Champions League. And I think Amorim's probably sat there and he's like, I've got a real opportunity here to come in, make an impact, even in a short stint. You know, if I can get these, solid defensive flair, if I can really get these organised, these players, bring back that intensity, I think we've got a real chance of doing something special potentially. And not a lot of people believe that. I might sound absolutely fucking crazy for saying it because it's been so dark this season. But if you've watched Amorim football before, if you've seen him at Sporting, what he does, how people talk about him, how the teammates talk about him, his relationships with players, his relationships with coaches, he has that charismatic, he has that something about him, like Mourinho did when he first came over to England. So, as a United fan, you can always appreciate the train going on behind me, sound-wise. But as a United fan, I think I am excited to go into this Ruben Amorim era. I think he can do well. I'm excited to see who he picks there, who he goes for, the fixtures coming up. Let's see what these next 2 weeks bring. So we've come to the end of Old Trafford Diaries, episode 1, the fresh Ruben Amorim era. I really want to hear everyone's thoughts on this. How excited are you? What are you expected to see in the next couple of games? Initially, what players are going to flourish under Ruben Amorim? Who do you think will be out of the team like that? You know what? You know I love your thoughts, so get them in the comments. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. This has been Old Trafford Diaries. Good luck, Ruben. Good luck.